Hello and welcome to One United. My name is Paritosh Joshi and I'm here along with Wali Siddiqui and Anshuman Joshi talking about the Arsenal game. United have drawn nil-nil at the Emirates. Points have been shared and it's a result we all expected but didn't want. The performances were decent. United had some chances to close off the game, but both teams played decent. So a draw is a fair result in my opinion. We'll have to look across the panel to know what they thought about the result. First, I'll talk to Wali, what he thought about the result, as it was a cagey affair between the two sides. Wali, what are your thoughts about the game?
Another goalless draw like we predicted yesterday. And yeah, it's been disappointing because we've just got 1 point from the last six now. And as a result of that, Leicester now have the chance to go above us and go to second. And City, while having a game in hand, can go 6 points above us. So basically, they will get a really big advantage now over here. And yeah, it's disappointing, man, because I was just looking at the start against the Big Six. We've scored just one goal till now. That was against Tottenham
Yeah,
Hotspur,
Tottenham.
the one in which
When we
we
lost
lost
6-1.
6-1, and
Yeah.
that goal was through a penalty. So it just goes to show that we are not creating enough. Even though you could say that we had the better chances, we had the better chances today, we had the better chances against Liverpool, but end of the day, I don't think they're enough. You need to be even more clinical in terms of your finishing. Cavani massively disappointed. He has been bought solely for his finishing because he's the pure number nine that we talk about, and he missed both of those from point blank range. The first one was a sitter. The second one, okay, you could say that was hard, but Cavani, he's an experienced, like one of the best strikers of all time. I expected him to score, and then disappointing once again. Rashford wasn't at it. Paul Pogba was decent. Bruno Fernandes wasn't at it again. Luke Shaw, one of our decent players. Our wing backs, I think, were the best players of the game. Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. They were actually quite good while heading forward. But the thing
It
is, once
again,
again,
Luke Shaw.
I think the problem with us is that more than like tactical astuteness and all that, we rely on individual brilliance right now. Even if you look at our recent wins, they've all been clutch moments from Marcus Rashford or Paul Pogba or a penalty by Bruno Fernandes, and we still need to sort a lot of things out. We have a system, that quick transition, that quick counter attack, but once the team sit at the back, we're not able to create many chances, and we haven't been clinical. So let's hope that we change that. Yeah, disappointing result.
Yeah, disappointing result. Anshuman, what are your thoughts about the game and how do you think United's season is going to go from this point onwards according to this particular performance?
Well, in general, this was not a very indifferent match than what we had against Arsenal back at Old Trafford in November, because even that also was a 50-50 kg affair. But in that moment, we were hard done by a shorter decision that went against us, and we conceded a penalty. And even in this match, both sides had pretty good chances on their part in the over the course of 90 minutes. And we have to say that we had better chances. Like Rashford in the first half had a pretty decent shot. Cavani had a couple, and yeah, I think our finishing touch was quite a miss. I think possession-wise we had more balls, so that is bit of a positive. I think because for the greater part, when it comes to top Big Six matches, the so-called Big Six matches, we just relinquish possession altogether. So to be able to hold the ball, that is something that I've noticed over the past couple of matches, that we are able to enjoy ourselves while playing the ball. But dealing with the lower block is still a problem. And yeah, I think we still have to deal with the finishing part of it. But as far as the match in general is concerned, that is I don't I'm not really that worried about the result, because a draw against Arsenal is never a problem. I think our defense was pretty decent. I think our priority going into this match was to not be beaten once again, because that would have created a problem. Because United, every time we go on a winning run, that is always punctuated by a very bad losing run. And I think that was first of all, we needed to make sure that we get back from the Sheffield defeat, and that if it needs to be an anomaly and not something that sets up for the rest of the season. So yeah, in general, apart from the result, I'm not that worried. But as a neutral fan of the Premier League, I'm rather more worried about that Manchester City might be able to run away now, because they are already 3 points clear. They have a match ahead of us, and in the next month they are playing all the big guns. They are playing Chelsea, they are playing Liverpool, and they're playing us in early March. So there is a very good chance that they might end up winning all those matches and be 10 to 15 points clear of the top of the table. I hope that does not happen, but that is where we are now. I think that the defensive performance that we had today does sets up to perform the to does provide us a decent foundation to perform better in the upcoming matches, which we are going to need because our next three matches are at home, and our home, well, we all know our home form is like. So that will be an important thing to see. I think we can definitely improve this performance. I think our attack was surprisingly not up to its point. I think Cavani had one of those matches. I don't think this is going to be a regular thing for him. So yeah, a lot of positives to take as well.
A lot of positives along with some of the negatives, but a KG affair. That's all I think everybody will have to say. Because it was not one of the best performances that United have had in this season, but it was not the worst. So it was a decent performance. Couldn't finish off the chances that we created. The final third is the place where we were missing. Anthony Martial, again, talking point of the game, because for me, even Marcus Rashford wasn't good, but Anthony Martial, once again, there are glimpses and there are phases of your career where you look your worst, and I think this is the phase for Anthony Martial, and I'm so disappointed that it comes in this season where he was needed the most to score goals for us. Wally, what are your thoughts about that particular statement?
Yeah, we've criticized him a lot, and like I said, he shouldn't have played today. But unfortunately, I don't know what happened to Scott McTominay. He was it food
Stomach cramp,
poisoning,
stomach cramp.
stomach cramps, and I thought he was
That's the
actually
official
playing quite well.
statement.
So I thought that Scott McTominay had a decent start, and Pogba was playing out wide. But this is the problem with us. Even if we do bench Anthony Martial, we're playing Pogba out wide, and that isn't his best position. So we are lacking in wide players at the moment. Rashford and Martial, at the end of the day, they're not wingers. They're inside forwards. They all like cutting in, and we do not have a genuine winger at the moment, which is why our fullbacks overlap most of the time. So I think Amad Diallo, I don't know. I'm excited for that lad. He might be the answer. Jadon Sancho might be the answer. You never know by the summer window, but we seriously, genuinely need some wingers over here. Yes, to change
Yeah.
things up, obviously introduce Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial, but they're not wingers at the end of the day, and neither are they pure number nines. So yeah, they're dynamic personalities. They can play well, but you have to find a way to allot them in the team. Right now, from the left, you that's what I'm saying. Our wing backs were our best players because they created the best chances. If you talk about Luke Shaw's cross, and if you talk about Aaron Van Bissaka's cross, Aaron Van Bissaka headed one of the balls towards the goal. That was the first time I saw him head a ball towards an opposition box, and I was actually quite shocked. If Aaron Van Bissaka had scored that goal through a header, I think Arsenal fans should have committed suicide because that's something that doesn't happen. But yeah, decent. And then the Fred chance, man. Oh my God, that Fred chance was there. I forgot about that. Leno fingertips. Fred would have scored, and that would have been amazing as well. So we had the better
He
chances.
was shocked. He was so shocked at his shot. Like he was surprised that was about to go in. That was the kind of shock.
Exactly. And one thing I would like to say is that Luke Shaw is turning into one of my favorite players now because you have to feel sorry for him. How many assists could he get in one game, and how many
Yeah,
times
man.
we fluff his chances?
If
It's unbearable.
if he was playing for Liverpool, he could have amassed assists at this point, because the amount
Yeah,
of
exactly.
chances he has made is actually quite astonishing.
And people keep on saying that he doesn't offer much, he doesn't have much assist. Brother, you're not even finishing your
Bullshit.
chances. How
Bullshit.
how how
Bullshit.
how will you expect him to add assists if you're not
The
finishing? And
beautiful
then
play, one of the finest plays where Cavani had a chance was because of Luke Shaw.
yeah,
The way
yeah,
he
that link up
moved
play
in the
between
box.
Luke Shaw, Martial, and Cavani, that was actually the
Yeah,
best play. It was
yeah,
actually the
that
best
was the
movement of
best
the
play in
game.
the game. Yeah,
And even though defensively he was having his struggles in the first half with Pepe, he bounced back quite well. And the
yeah.
post-match press conference, I just heard him say that this isn't the result that we wanted, and we should have won. I'm very, very disappointed by it, and this is the mentality we should have. So I'm really turning into a big fan
Everybody.
of
I am
his.
liking the mentality of Pogba. I'm liking the mentality of Luke Shaw. I am
Yeah,
liking the mentality of Bruno at times, but Bruno, sometimes his mentality isn't matching his performances. It's like he's not pushing enough in games, and he's more frustrated about himself than the game itself. I don't know.
yeah, you could say that. You
Sometimes it
could say
looks
that.
like it. Uh, Sometimes it looks like he's not happy
He
in himself with his performances, and then he's frustrated more that he's not able to
because
contribute.
He hasn't had a goal or an assist in the Premier League in the last 5 matches. That's like
Yeah,
his
yeah.
longest barren run at the
Hmm.
moment. So he will be disappointed.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Best player in the game? Who's the best player in the game for you guys?
Anshuman, you go first.
Clearly, Luke Shaw. For tonight's match, clearly Luke Shaw.
From both the sides. It's not only for United,
Oh,
Arsenal.
for Arsenal. For Arsenal, it has to be
I think
Martinelli. Even though he played the first half, but it has to be Martinelli. Man. He was amazing.
Okay.
I'm actually glad that he went off, not because of the injury, but had he been there and had he got that
It
Willian
could
chance,
have
I
been
think he
trouble.
would have been
It
one
could
of
have been trouble for us.
he's I think this is the first time I actually saw him like complete like with full focus, and he's a bright talent.
He's a
He's
great
one
talent.
for the
Yeah, yeah.
future.
Saka is
yeah, he
also
has
great.
had a really bad luck with injuries, and I just hope from a neutral point of view that he can get beyond that injury phase because we are seeing with Luke Shaw now that he's finally fit the kind of performances he can offer. So I
Hmm.
really hope that happens with Martinelli as well eventually.
Yeah. Okay, so for Arsenal, it is Martinelli for Wally. For United, who is it for you?
For United, it has to. I think Van Bissaka. Van Bissaka did really well, even though he was conceding quite stupid free kicks towards the end. But I think today his offensive game was at his best. This is the best
I
that
think
I've seen.
Maguire was also good. Maguire was not also bad today. Maguire
Maguire
was,
was Maguire did quite decently. He was decent, but the two silly free kicks that he gave against Lacazette,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
that it frustrated me, and that could have cost us the game as well.
yeah.
So yeah, all
Anshuman,
in all, our win. Yeah.
For United, it's Luke Shaw. For Arsenal, who is your favorite for the game?
For me, I think over 90 minutes it was David Luiz, surprisingly. I mean, if
Yeah, yeah.
Martinelli had
Surprise.
played, he was
Yeah,
easily the best player. He was tearing us apart. But David Luiz was
yeah,
surprisingly good. I mean, he has these matches every once in a while, every 10, 15 matches. He'll be impervious. He was providing attack. He had that free kick, and I was slightly worried that might go in. He usually does. It was one of his days. He was defensively pretty astute. He was marking Cavani. So yeah, for me, it was David Luiz. He was also the man of the match. So.
I thought
yeah.
Pepe was decent too.
Yeah, Pepe was nice. Arsenal had some good performances. It's just that we are too critical because Cavani should have scored these chances any other day. It's just that it was not his day. Uh, about
I want to
Martial,
ask you both. I want to ask you both a question. Do you think that we are aiming for the title right now, or are
I
we
don't think
happy
so.
with the top four? I think, or
I
are we
don't think
happy
so.
with top four right now?
Because I agree with Paul Scholes here. Paul Scholes said this in the post-match presentation that this team doesn't look like it is going for the league win. Or not every player is looking like, because for a team to win the league, every player should believe that they are going to win the league, and then there have to be performances from every player in every game that they are going for the win for in every game. This team, especially in today's match, from if you look at it, especially in the first half, didn't look like it wanted to have a win. They were happy with the goalless draw, and that's not the mentality that wins you leagues.
Do you think that first game against Tottenham scarred Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and then secondly we're playing two CDMs? Is that the reason that we're not like doing well against the big six? Because
Maybe,
those CDMs.
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
Anjuman, what do you think?
Anshuman,
Well, because I think one of the reasons that we are so sad that United are not winning and going first again is because we are first in the first place. And I think we need to acknowledge this because when we were lingering 15th in the table, I don't think any of us were envisaging a situation where we'll end up first anyway. And for us, I think the pinnacle at that point was if we can, from this return to top five, somehow manage into top four, that should be success for us. So I think I'm looking at it from that point of view, and I'm seeing the very fact that we have been able to reach that point that we are within 5 points with Man City. I think that is a big plus for us. Of course, we shouldn't become complacent and straight away think, no, this is enough for us this season, just relinquish the rest of it. Definitely not. I think what you have said, Wari, that the 6-1 defeat was a massive problem for us. And I think there were a lot of things that needed to be sorted out after that. I think the McFred defensive pivot that we have has really come through this season. There are a lot of positives in general. Like if you consider the long process, I know that long process is not a thing that really exists in football anymore. You either win or you get the sack. But I think over the course of past 5 months, our defense have really come through. Yes, sometimes we shut down like we did with Bashak Shahir and Sheffield a couple days ago. But in general, things have been improving. And as far as I'm concerned, like I've said this like 2, 3 weeks ago as well when we had dinner, and I said that as long as we finish in the top four and we are within 5 to 10 points of the eventual champions, I'm fine with the season because this will be the first time that we'll have managed to have back-to-back Champions League finishes, and that is something that we haven't had with Sir Alex since Sir Alex retired. We have always had a one season with a manager that it might end up top four, and the next season will just unravel and end up sixth and seventh again, and the manager will get the sack. This is the first time that in the name of a long process we are building towards something. And uh, there are a lot of positives regarding Oli's tenure and his contract and the way he has come to that we can discuss probably another episode. But I think on the general basis of things, I'm really in a long sense, I'm really not that worried about league position. I think United are going for the title? I think as far as the media training goes, it is a very nice thing to say for the fans. Yes, we are first. Yes, we are going for the title. It makes a brilliant optics. But I think this is something that we were saying around the time of Louis van Gaal as well. I remember there were a couple of noises that I think it was Phil Jones saying that we need to be going for the title. The title is not yet over, and so it is something
Paritosh,
that is
just a
very
sec,
easy to
just
be
a sec.
said.
Because one
I
thing,
know, I know. Yeah.
yeah,
I know.
yeah. Carry on, Anshuman.
Yeah. So that is the thing that has gone on for a while. So we are not outside of the title race right now. We are 6 points away, and yes, I am worried that City will be running away, and yes, they eventually might will. They will eventually run away with the league. But I'm just glad that we are in the top four places right now. We're building towards something, and I think the right for us is as a Manchester United player. I think the first best thing you can do right now is get your head down, take one match at a time, get your performances again, because that is the only way we have ended up in the top four places in the first place, because no one was giving it a shout. We were 15th after 5 matches, and everyone was making jokes about Oli out and how this is not going to go anywhere. And once we started taking one match at a time, we got better. That's what we have to do again.
Yeah, certainly. I have a surprise for you because not Edinson Cavani is here with us.
Hmm.
Not Edinson Cavani. Please give your thoughts about the game.
Well, I just watched the second half and I'm blaming myself that why did I watch it? It was horrible. I mean, it was exciting to an extent, but it's just not. I don't know. Even Cavani is missing chances now. What can you tell or say?
Not his day. Not his day. I think that's the only way we can put it because he had the best
But
of chances and he wasn't
but
able to
it's
perform.
not his day. But those chances were beg. Anybody with two eyes and 2 feet could score that,
Not
and
anybody.
it
Easier
just
said.
hurt.
Anthony Martial isn't
It
scoring.
just hurts
So,
because we got 1 point out of 6 points, and these are the 5 points which we lost are going to define the season now. Because
yeah,
City is
this could
already
decide the league.
three
This
points
could decide the
away
league.
with a game in hand. So that's like 6 points
Mm,
away with City. I mean,
mm.
you have to just suck it in, I guess.
You put yourself on mute, Paritosh.
There needs to be some kind of questioning from everyone, uh, and there needs to be some kind of uh, interjection from managerial positions as well, where there needs to be a clear goal defined. If you are going for the league win, there should be some demands from the game, and it's not looking like this team wants to win the league, and they should be going for the league win because it certainly is a chance to go for the league and have a great season. But if we don't approach it in that particular manner, then it is going to be a problem. If you approach it and don't win it, then it's okay. But if you had a
Yeah.
chance and you don't take it, then it's problem.
If you ask me, the thing is that even though we are dropping points against the big six, all right, fine, you could drop points against them, but for me, the priority, if you ask me as a fan, what I want from my club is that if you're playing the smaller clubs such as Sheffield United, yeah, Aston Villa, the Brightons, then I want us to act like a big club and brush these teams aside, win convincingly, win, even if it's a 1-0, if it's a clean sheet, defensively astute performance, I wouldn't mind. But conceding a goal, then coming back from it to win, this is not stable enough. Either you win by a really big margin, either you're defensively astute and don't concede, because right now we can expect that in the next few weeks, Southampton and then who's followed after that, I'm not so
Everton.
sure.
Everton.
Everton. All these teams are going to give us a hard time, and we are not going to brush these teams aside. It's not going to be comprehensive. If you want to be a big club, you have to brush these teams aside, and only then will you get the confidence. Because right now we're relying a lot on individual brilliance.
Hmm.
Also, I want to add, I don't know if you guys spoke about this point already, but whenever we don't have two holding midfielders, we don't play well. We don't play the way we should, or just like it's not even pleasing to the eyes when we don't have Fred or a McTominay, or one of them is missing, or it's just Fred and Pogba or whoever. And I just feel that these people need to go for a CDM. Thiago was the best option
Yeah,
there, but they let him
absolutely.
go.
I don't think Thiago is a center defensive midfielder in a
He's a
very
central midfielder.
traditional. He's a CDM, but he has played
I
CDM for
think
Bayern,
I
but
think I think
that role
Van de
has been
Beek.
certainly different than the one we need.
But then
I
we
think
need
Van de
one more
Beek.
CDM. We cannot play games with one CDM, and that's been clear since the start of the season. Whenever we have two
No,
holding,
you can also say that
Because we
you
don't
can
have
also
a
say that
CDM that can play that way.
yeah, because
why not? Matic plays every other game. Fred is
Matic
not
can't.
playing.
Matic can't. That is one thing that we have broached upon. I think when we played against Burnley, I said that Matic can play against matches against teams like Burnley and Sheffield United because they don't have pace. They run and they have a work ethic and everything, but they don't have explosive, pacey players that can attack us on the counter attack. And in those matches, Matic comes through. But Matic cannot play every game like that because every team does not play like that. Most teams have pacey players, which is why we need a number six that can sit on the base
Then
of
you're
that midfield
supposed
so
to
that
not
the
give
other
him a
two can play
two-year
attacking
deal.
roles.
Why did you give him a 2-year contract?
Yeah, but
Now's the
that's
club.
one point. That's fair point. That's our problem.
Yeah.
We have given how many years to Phil Jones? I don't even remember. So, you know,
And
even
even you
Rojo had
gave
a deal.
Mata an extension. You're not playing that guy at all. I mean,
hmm,
it's
Yeah. You're
just
not
waste
playing
of
Mata.
money. You're
No,
putting two hundred
that's what I don't
thousand
get.
on
If
Romero. You're giving 200,000 to Mata. You're giving 200,000 to Matic. That's 600,000. And when
no,
Sergio
that's
Ramos is available for a free, nobody's gonna go get him because he's at 350k. That just does not make sense to me. This club does not make sense. They have three goalkeepers, and out of that, only one is okay, according to me. But I don't know how we're going to approach the helm.
I
It's just
I honestly
bad.
feel that if your attackers aren't firing, you land in a midfielder. You play with a diamond. You let Van de Beek play, and you play with two strikers up front. You'll be able to create more chances then.
yeah,
If
that's what I was
I don't know
saying.
why you don't do that.
If you want to have two holding midfielders and you don't have McTominay, you can have Van de Beek adapting and playing in a defensive midfielder because he's a player who can play in different roles. So that experiment could be a way to finally have Van de Beek in the side because everybody wants Van de Beek constantly. So he could be used as the central defensive link between the CDM and Pogba and Bruno situation because these two like to have a free run in the area. So I believe Van de Beek could be used, but you never really know.
Yeah, man. I remember us playing the diamond against PSG, RB Leipzig. We won 2-1 against PSG, 5-0 against Leipzig. Then we played the diamond against Arsenal at home. Unfortunately, we lost that game, and once again, we haven't implemented the tactic again. So that has been a problem. I feel you need to have more midfielders. If you need to create chances, you need to have more midfielders, especially if your strikers aren't in form. That could probably
Mhm.
change it.
I think someone's at the door, Wali.
Nah, this is my clock.
Fucking hell,
Nice.
what the fuck is that clock? How can you sleep with that clock,
This reminds me of the Undertaker.
man? Fucking hell.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
did anyone notice after the halftime when the players were entering the pitch, they were playing Kane's theme song?
Yeah, yeah. You
What
notified
the
us
hell
on
is
the door.
wrong? What the hell? And then
I don't know.
I remember it was against Liverpool. There was Triple H's theme song when they were facing Liverpool at Emirates. They have some weird fetish with
That
WWE.
triple West Ham plays Triple H's team all the time because hammers and shit.
Yeah,
Ah, okay, so I
yeah.
think that's it. That's it from us. We don't have much else because it's just a reaction. That's it from our side at One United. This is me, Paritosh Joshi, Anshuman Joshi, Wali Siddiqui, and Ekar Singh for One United. We'll see you guys again soon, hopefully. In uh, 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 in I believe it's going to be
Southampton.
3 4 days. Yeah, Southampton
before the
preview. Yeah,
football game. Yeah.
Southampton preview will be back for that, and we'll see you guys again. Then hopefully United can finally have 3 points and again go for the number one spot in not a long while. See you guys soon, hopefully with some positive news.